Hi, quick reviews. It's me, Sergio. So we'll continue with our SPSS episode. We will continue with another t-test, which is the dependent t-test. So I have here the data, the pre-intervention scores and the post-intervention scores. And I also computed its difference. So that's from the data view. In the variable view, we have all scales in here since the type of data is numerical. But what we're going to use in here for the analysis is the pre and post. The difference will be used for the assumption. So before we perform the analysis, we'll check the assumptions first. So we will also use this statistics.layer.com. So it's stated in here that dependent t-test is also known as paired samples t-test, which is, or the idea is, compares the means between two related groups on the same continuous dependent variable. So we have four assumptions to consider before performing this analysis. Okay, before we will start with the first assumption, we will consider first the given problem. So this is the problem. You want to check whether a new drug increases memory performance. You test memory performance of 30 people before and after they take the medicine. So as you can see, there's only one set of group. Okay, who are the 30 people, and we have to test, okay, if the given new drug increases the memory performance. So from the data, it includes the pre and post intervention scores. So let's go back. For the first assumption, your dependent variable should be measured on a continuous scale. So from the given, the memory performance, so it is a continuous scale since it is numerical. For the second assumption, your independent variable should consist two categorical related groups or match pairs. So for the 30 people, we have the pre and then we have also the post. So it indicates the same subjects are present. This one, the same subjects are present in both groups. So both assumptions 1 and 2 are met. Assumption number 3, there should be no significant outliers in the differences between the two related groups. So basically, if we're going to check it, okay, let's use JASP. Jeffrey's Amazing Statistics Program. So we will open computer browse. So this time we'll consider the dependent t-test and then the data. So we will only consider the difference. Okay. So let's consider descriptive. Okay. Descriptive statistics, the difference, and we are after with its plots. Let's see. Okay. Distribution plots. From this distribution plot, we can see that it most likely follows, okay, a normal curve. And to determine the dependent variable, I mean the differences are approximately normally distributed, we will use the SPSS, analyze descriptive statistics, explore, and we will consider the difference, and then plots, normality plots with tests. And let's see. Okay, the Shapiro-Wilk test. So it's 0.091, which is above 5%, meaning the data is normal. So from here, we can say that assumptions number 3 and 4 are actually met. Since all of the assumptions are satisfied, we can proceed with the analysis. So this is how you are going to perform dependent t-test, analyze, compare means, and paired samples t-test. And we have here paired variables we only have one pair. So let's consider this post-intervention scores for the variable 1 and pre-intervention scores for the variable 2. And then just click OK. So we have here now the result from SPSS. And I have prepared here an APA style. So let's start with the mean. 49.63 and 54.57. 49.63, 54.57. So that's correct. What else? Mean difference 4.933. Okay. This one 4.933, correct? The t value 16.706. 16.706, correct? And then the p-value, we will consider the two-sided. So 0.001. Okay, 0.001. So our variables would be the pre-intervention scores and the post-intervention scores. So since the p-value is less than 5%, it is significant and we can reject the null hypothesis. You will use these values for your discussion. So again, to perform dependent t-tests, analyze, compare means, and paired samples t-tests.